throughout history, service, even if you're talking about a general store with tumbleweeds going down, the old Western days, there was something about a wow moment, and then baking these wow moments into your product and baking these wow moments into every touch point.
That's a pretty big goal, and it is a constant struggle to be able to have the resources that you need and to have the solutions in place, ready, and the staff teams prepared and knowledgeable and up to speed.
It's a very tough industry, but I think that people are in customer service whether they like it or not.
Customers are talking to us about our brand that don't even own our product.
I've been in customer service for a very long time.
People used to lick stamps and send a note in. Then the phone came.
When I started in customer service, it was just the beginning of the toll-free numbers, and we were in the process of rolling toll-free numbers on all of our brands.
In the past, it was somewhat acceptable and expected that you would have a very scripted type conversation when someone calls in. You would work with corporate talking points.
I could find a local dealership for you.
Now we have social media in addition to email, and then we also provide chat to our customers.
We are now, unfortunately, having to be a bit of an octopus in the sense of being everywhere at once.
Consumers now are using all those different channels, and they have they have actually preferred channel that they can choose. And now it's expanding on those channels for us. It's essentially we have more channels to handle.
You will absolutely uncover that you need to be everywhere. You'll literally have to be on Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest, anywhere that there'll be a comment.
When you post something on Facebook, it's there right away.
Those comments don't stay within the boundaries of your particular country. It's out there for the world.
It shifts essentially a little bit the power to the consumer, where now everything they're sharing their experience with their whole network and where their communities, and they're not just talking to us, and sometimes they don't even want to talk to us. They talk about us, but they don't necessarily want to talk to us.
So they're talking to their peers, or they're talking to whoever will listen, and maybe you're there to listen, but it's really unfiltered. This is what they're saying in the wild.
I think one of the biggest changes has been the need for transparency when you're talking with customers.
That listening and authenticity is really critical.
One of the things you can't do is be too scripted in social media, right? When we first started, we were using some of our very, scripted responses, and they were like, is that Ford Motor Company or is that a robot we're talking to?
And if they get an answer from you that's not transparent or feels like you're trying to be deceitful or hide something from them, they'll publish it.
We have to be able to tell them, well, the information you got was inaccurate or incorrect, and help them provide the right information.
The key is making sure that we're being respectful of everyone's opinions when we're dealing with consumers.
If they see us being truthful and they see us consistently being there, they'll actually, sometimes it's other customers or other people that will stick up for Ford versus us needing to intervene and say something.
You can't go back to, well, it's policy, we just do it this way. It always has to be thought of as a unique transaction.
We have to be smarter because of social media, because if things do go sideways on us, the whole world's going to know real quick.
Just the fact that now you can have complaints being broadcast on social media brought marketing to be interested in those conversations, and then it brought all the organization now to look into like quality or, and having visibility on all those aspects.
Our transparency and drive to move beyond a scripted world into conversations and engagement with consumers is actually driven by our senior leadership.
I've always said that consumer affairs is wearing two hats, because on one hand we're speaking to the consumer and we're the voice of the company to the consumer, but the other side is we're speaking to our company and giving our company the feedback from the consumer.
And that is the feedback you want. That's the feedback you want to aggregate, roll up, button up, package, and get upstream to management and say, listen, this is what people are actually saying, not when we're prodding them, not when we have 15 in the room and we're paying them $75, not when we're giving them a contest at the end of it.
There's a huge amount of data that comes in through customer care, and they're able to look at that data and tell a story. So whether it's talking to product development and engineers about how the product can be better, what the consumer needs, where the consumer feels like the product or service isn't quite meeting their expectation.
We've always had the data. We didn't mine it in the same way as the tools allow us to do now.
To get the data, that's one thing, but to provide insights is the real opportunity, and also to take some of this disparate data and really have it be meaningful.
At the end of the day, when you pull everything back, all the bells and whistles and every touch point you have, it's still service, right? It's still answering a question, giving a helping hand.
Now products are almost like a community.
There's going to be an explosion around mobile. I think video is going to continue to expand. 24/7 is becoming much more the norm, and so that is a whole nother set of challenges.
As things change, some things still stay the same.
No matter what country you're in, no matter what language you speak, people want to be treated respectfully.
Large global companies working every single day to advocate for the consumer, to listen to the consumer.
The bottom line is the customers and consumers are always going to dictate what our challenges are.
And that will never change, right? You just can't change that.
If companies are not getting more consumer-centric, I think they're going to have long-term challenges.
It's a hard thing to always be customer-centric. That is the future.